Joining me now, Brandon Tatum, former police officer and author of Beaten Black and Blue, Being a Cop in an America Under Siege, and Cynthia Garrett, founder of the Cynthia Garrett Ministries and author of I Choose Victory. Brandon, the sheer involvement of Sharpton and Crump, who have lied repeatedly about police actions and misrepresented them, that doesn't it doesn't say to me this is a good faith effort.
No, Laura. I mean, these two gentlemen, Crump and Sharpton, are the biggest pimps in American history, pimping out dead black people on a day-to-day basis in order to make as much money as they can. They don't have a vested interest in telling young black people to not resist arrest and trying to coach and inspire as good leaders to help young black people have better experience with police. They want them to get out there and get killed so they can make a whole bunch of money off of it.
Now, Cynthia, this was Ben Crump on CNN today. Watch.
America is finally having this conversation about racial reckoning, but that's just talk if we don't act. Now is the time to act. Let's do it in the name of George Floyd and all the others that have been taken from us unjustly by the very people who are supposed to protect and serve us.
Now, Cynthia, it doesn't really feel like we're having a conversation. It feels like we're being told what to do in a country that they say is systemically racist.
Yeah, look, Laura, I believe that we're being preached at. We're not being asked to dialogue about a solution. I think that, you know, we all know that words create a very powerful narrative. And the second the words defund the police came out of someone's mouth, it was just ridiculous because it's just an absurd thing to do. We want the police to show up in our communities, and we need them to show up in our communities. And a meaningful dialogue about what African Americans need, I agree with you guys, it's about creating a relationship with the police. You know, if you want a reform bill or meaningful reform, why are we not actively seeking a real unity with the police to figure out how to address these issues? Instead, politicians, leaders, elites, the left, is creating a war between African Americans and the police. They're creating an even bigger divide by focusing on, I hate to use the word insignificant, but the reality is that what white cops do to blacks is way more insignificant than what blacks do to each other in our own communities every day. And there is no reform without us reforming our spirits, our minds. We've got to take responsibility for our communities, for having fathers in our homes, for taking control of our educational systems and the way that we're raising our kids. Like the officer says, why don't we teach our young people to respect the police, good or bad? If a cop stops me, I'm going to listen to him. And
yeah, and if Brandon, if any of the high-profile cases had involved someone who did not resist arrest, didn't reach for a gun, didn't refuse to get into a police car, would we be having this conversation? In those high-profile cases?
We wouldn't even have any of these conversations. There would be no names on T-shirts or any of those things. And this is 100% avoidable. If you don't want to get shot by the police, you don't want to get injured, then don't resist arrest and pull guns on law enforcement officers. It's that simple. And we do need to encourage, you know, young people to know their rights. You know, when you get arrested, whether right or wrong, go to court, fight it in court. There is no such thing as justice on the side of the curb, on the side of the road, because you're not going to get it there. And I really wish, and I'm doing my best to put this message out here. I really wish that young people would do some introspection, look in the mirror. What are you doing to make things better? And how are you acting when involved with police? That will necessitate your outcome versus what the police are doing specifically.
Well, we talked about two things tonight, and Brandon and Cynthia, you hit both of them. Personal responsibility and understanding of each other's position. Police are in a dangerous situation. You're scared or you did something. There has to be a level of personal responsibility. And for the police, they need to be personally responsible when they screw up. But guys, thank you. Thank you both.